Mind game number 1, the hot and cold temperature control. When an avoidant is attracted to someone, they become masters of emotional temperature regulation, not their own emotions, but the emotional climate of the interaction. One day they're warm, engaging, asking personal questions, and sharing meaningful eye contact that makes their target feel like the only person in the room. They create moments of intense connection that feel electric and profound. Then suddenly, they become ice cold. They're distant, formal, treating their target like a casual acquaintance rather than someone they were deeply connecting with just days before. This isn't accidental. It's strategic emotional regulation designed to prevent their target from getting too comfortable or confident about where they stand. The avoidant does this because attraction terrifies them more than rejection. When they feel drawn to someone, their nervous system interprets it as danger. The hot and cold pattern allows them to experience connection while maintaining an escape route. They're testing whether their target will chase them during the cold phases, which would confirm their fears about suffocating relationships, or respect the distance, which might make them feel safe enough to warm up again. Mind game number 2, the comparison competition theater. The attracted avoidant weaponizes other people to manage their feelings about their target. They don't just mention other romantic interests. They perform elaborate productions designed to trigger jealousy while maintaining plausible deniability. They talk about dates they're going on, potential matches on dating apps, or how attractive they find mutual acquaintances. This isn't genuine interest in other people. It's a psychological experiment. The avoidant is studying their target's reaction to determine how much they care. Do they look hurt when hearing about other romantic interests? Do they seem jealous when the avoidant flirts with someone else at a party? The avoidant feeds off these reactions while simultaneously punishing their target for having them. The cruelest aspect of this game is that the avoidant genuinely believes they're protecting both parties. They think they're demonstrating that getting attached would be foolish because they're clearly not relationship material. In reality, they're creating artificial scarcity to test their target's investment level while keeping their own feelings at arm's length. Mind game number 3, the intimacy bait and switch. The avoidant creates moments of profound intimacy that feel like sacred connections, then immediately dilutes them with casual behavior that makes their target question whether the moment was real. They'll have a deep, vulnerable conversation at 2 a.m. about their childhood, their fears, their dreams, sharing things they claim they never tell anyone. Their target feels chosen, special, like they've been granted access to a hidden part of this complex person. But the next time they interact, the avoidant acts like the conversation never happened. They're friendly but surface level, treating their target like they would any casual acquaintance. This pattern serves multiple purposes for the avoidant. It allows them to experience the relief of being known without the ongoing vulnerability that comes with sustained intimacy. It tests whether their target will try to recreate those deep moments, which would feel pressuring and cause them to retreat further. Most importantly, it gives them an escape route. If their target brings up the intimate conversation, they can act like it wasn't that significant. Mind game number 4, the mixed signal Morse code. The avoidant becomes fluent in a language of contradictions that keeps their target constantly guessing. They text frequently for days, then disappear for a week without explanation. They make intense eye contact across a room, but act distant when approached. They remember tiny details about their target's life, but claim they don't pay attention to personal things. Every signal comes with its opposite, creating a psychological puzzle that their target becomes obsessed with solving. The avoidant says they don't believe in relationships while planning future activities together. They act uninterested while asking probing personal questions. They claim they're not ready for anything serious while creating moments that feel incredibly serious. This isn't confusion on the avoidant's part, it's intentional ambiguity designed to keep their target engaged without having to commit to clear intentions. The mixed signals serve as emotional insurance, allowing the avoidant to maintain connection while preserving their ability to claim they never promised anything specific. Mind game number 5, the vulnerability test lab. The avoidant turns every interaction into an experiment to see how their target handles their emotional complexity. They share something vulnerable, then watch carefully to see the reaction. Do they get advice they didn't ask for? Do they get pity? Do they get someone trying to fix them? Any of these responses confirms the avoidant's belief that vulnerability leads to loss of autonomy. But they're not just testing their target's reactions, they're testing their own emotional resilience. Can they share something personal without becoming attached? Can they be vulnerable without losing control? The avoidant uses their target as an emotional laboratory, conducting experiments on intimacy while maintaining the stance of a detached scientist. They might share a painful childhood memory to see if their target becomes overbearing with comfort. They might reveal a fear to see if their target tries to reassure them out of it. They're not looking for connection. They're looking for evidence that getting close is dangerous. Mind game number 6. The achievement competition. The attracted avoidant turns the relationship into a subtle competition where they must maintain superiority to feel safe. They need to be the more successful one, the more interesting one, the one with more options. If their target shares a professional accomplishment, the avoidant finds a way to share a bigger one. If their target mentions a hobby, the avoidant reveals they're an expert in something more impressive. This isn't conscious arrogance, it's defensive self-protection. The avoidant believes that if they become the less accomplished person in the dynamic, they'll become dependent, which feels like emotional death to them. They must remain the prize to avoid becoming the pursuer. Mind game number 7. The future phantom. The avoidant makes vague references to future possibilities while never committing to concrete plans. They talk about trips they'd like to take together someday, restaurants they should try, events they might attend, creating a phantom future that feels real but remains safely hypothetical. Their target builds hope on these casual mentions, while the avoidant maintains complete freedom to never follow through without technically breaking any promises.